Anne-Marie, it's interesting, you know, Tesla's, the short interest in Tesla is far more than the total market cap of Fiat Chrysler.
$20 billion in shorts. This stock is shorted $20 billion for Tesla when short sellers are already down $18 billion this year, $4 billion just since the beginning of July, and it is absolutely insane. Who is doing this? Why are people betting against this stock? Here we will take a look at why. I mean, have you seen the shorts on Tesla's website? There are seriously shorts making fun of people betting against the stock and the SEC at the same time, and it's just really hilarious. Take a look at it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to end up buying it for the price of $69.420. This is what people love and hate about Elon Musk. This is why the price is so high right now. If Tesla were to lose Musk, the perceived value of it would go down drastically. Now, the company in itself is in good shape because there's more than just like Elon running it. There's thousands of employees, thousands of people, of the right people working for him. Quick edit. I found a video of Kevin O'Leary talking against Tesla before he started investing in it. I knew he was a very prominent investor, but I didn't know there was a time where he was just against it. So take a look at this.
Yeah, and why everything else for them to sell
as an investor,
yes.
I own a Tesla. I love the car. I do not own the stock. I have a simple question.
Sure.
All the car companies around the world that have a long history of making cars and making money trade at between 13 and 17 PE. When and if this company ever makes money, why isn't the stock going down to $42 and it will join its compatriots at a 14 or 15 PE? Why is this stock not going to go south?
Because the old way of selling cars and how you look at cars.
Oh, it's different this time.
It is different this time.
Oh, yeah, sure. This stock is going south.
Well,
How
about this? I could tell you right now something. The dealer network is a ridiculous concept. All right? I would never let my wife or my daughter, let me finish, go ahead and buy a car. You look at the way Tesla sells the cars, not only are they generating more margin, they're actually making it better.
You think this thing is going to change the metric model by margins by so much that it should trade at a 50 premium to all the rest of the car companies?
By the way,
a 50x?
if this was the only company in the whole stock market that we could have that argument, we could put it right here and have that. But when we're looking at the whole universe of stocks that are trading at crazy multiples, and we're going to pick on the one that's probably one of the most disruptive companies, that's a bit ridiculous.
That was the Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary, who now is a proud owner of Tesla stock now, not just a car. And he one day just went up and thanked Elon Musk. Thank you for making me a lot of money. And that's just the type of personality he is, you know, he looks for the best deals. And while it's understandable, the naysayers who said that Tesla was not a viable company because it takes a lot of risk to start a car company, and many have failed. Every company has gone bankrupt in the US except for Ford and Tesla. They are the only two car companies who have never gone bankrupt. Autonomy is the future. Electric vehicles are the future. What Tesla is doing here is bigger than cars. It is autonomy, it is in tech, and it is revolutionary. Take a look at this. You see, okay, that is Musk's compensation plan. Now, market capitalization. If he gets up to $650 billion in evaluation, he is going to get 1% for every one of these little trenches he passes. For every $50 billion that incrementally increases, he is going to get compensated for it. And the revenue of Tesla has to also increase. No one else has done this before. He does not take any salary except required by law, $1 a year required by California as a $1 a year salary. Think about that. I mean, no one else just purely bases it on performance like Mr. Musk here. If I were an investor, which I am very happy that it is only based on his performance rather than just being paid no matter what. Much like many of the CEOs here, which is a shame. Let me know what you think about the compensation plan in the comments. If you have any questions, I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. I get this is a startup car company. You might hate Elon Musk or something. You don't think, oh, they'll ever succeed. And look at all the competition with Toyota, Kia, Hyundai, and all those are competitors. But when you're actually shipping over 90,000 units a quarter, and you're on track to making 500,000 vehicles this year in just electric vehicles alone. Think about this. Tesla does not make traditional ICE. Combustion engines are dirty, they cause a lot of problems over time, and are just overall a pain in the ass to maintain. That is the thing of the past one day soon, and it will continue to be that way as EVs go more and more and more favored rather than ICE, because they're getting cheaper to produce and they're better for the environment, and one day it's just going to be low enough to where everyone can afford it. I mean, just think about the potential future one day. One day you'll have a car that has over 1 million mile range and battery in terms of like how long this car lasts, where most cars will just last about 100 to 200,000 miles just about, but this car will last over 1 million. And what's more, it will drive itself in the future. So think about that. All this data is going to come in right now, and it's not perfect, mind you, but one day as the prices go up and more people use it, it will become to a point where you will be reliant on autonomous driving. That is the future, that is the way, and that's how this company is going to reach a sky-high valuation. That's exactly why the stock is going up in value all the time. At the timing of this video, the stock is worth up to $1,500, and it just went up over $100 in like the few hours alone. That's crazy. And maybe you think it's too high of a valuation, but over a long term, it's definitely gonna be worth that and more if they actually, and when they actually achieve all the things that they said they would. I mean, the CEO, Elon Musk, sent 2 people into space a couple months back, and that was amazing. This man owns 6 companies, and he has delivered on everything he said he'd do so far, and there is no reason to believe that it won't continue to deliver in the long term. Sure, it might be worth $1,500 now, maybe it'll fall down to like $1,200, $1,100, but the main reason why the price is going up is because it is being short squeezed heavily. So as more people are like backing out of these shorts, it's just going to go up and high, and losses are just going to be exacerbated as the price just continues to skyrocket, because more and more people are just going to be forced to short and liquidate their assets as brokerages call upon them to call on their money. Don't just take it from me, take it from the opposite end of the spectrum, from short seller Gordon Johnson, who now loses money on NBC and bullshit about Tesla all day. He is making a fine living, and he lost his job from his investing ideas.
Our next guest says the second half of this year is when Tesla's hyper-growth narrative falls apart, and next year, access to capital markets wanes. Joining us now is Gordon Johnson, CEO and founder of GLJ Research. So we want to hear your entire bear case, Gordon, and how many years have you watched as this has just sort of confounded people with your view. And have you been recommending a short the entire time?
Yeah, so we have been recommending a short the entire time. And, quite frankly, it really kind of took off late last year. So let me just go through the thesis very quickly.
Okay.
So if you look at Tesla, right, what's key is revenue. I don't think it's production or shipments, because at a certain price, there's infinite demand. At $1, everybody would buy a Tesla car. So if you look at their revenue in the fourth quarter of 18, essentially their revenue has peaked in the fourth quarter of 18. And if you look at 2Q estimates,
shorts were retailing for, get this, Brian, $69 and 420. I'm not exactly how I should even read that. 420 cents. I don't even know. But
Netherlands, Norway, Spain. And the reason why we cite those is because they provide registrations daily. Tesla's market share in those three countries combined has fallen from 35% in the fourth quarter of last year to 3% 2Q quarter to date as of last Thursday. And specifically Norway, which is the most advantageous market for EVs, they basically subsidize 50% of the EV. Tesla's market share has fallen from roughly 37% in 1Q of 19 to roughly 4% 2Q quarter to date through today. And the reason why Norway is important is because if you're thinking the world is going EVs, that's the market to look at. That's where you have all the competition. And keep in mind, Tesla's market share in Europe is literally collapsing, despite the fact you don't have the small, fully EV crossovers from BMW, Volvo with the Polestar, Mercedes, VW that are coming out later this year. And then if you look at 1Q, where they reported a small profit of 16 million, 354 million of that were regulatory credits that effectively sunset either at the end of this year or best case for Tesla, middle of next year. So that would mean they would report a loss. And if you look at their warranty accounting, where we have the receipts we sent to your producers where they're accounting for some of that as goodwill, that's another 200 million in additional profit that we don't think the company should be making. Taking a full step back, since 2010, Tesla every year has lost money looking at GAAP net income, aggregated loss of 6.7 billion. So there's no doubt we've been wrong on the stock. But if you look at the fundamentals, it doesn't look good. And we think that's going to come to the forefront as numbers come out later this year.
So in terms of actual value, maybe they're right. Maybe the short sellers are thinking, okay, this is going to go down because it's just been going up high so vertically, when it is very possible. But there's also, it's not looked at the right now value. It's looking for how many vehicles is it going to sell in 2030? How many vehicles is it going to sell in 2040? Will it make the S&P 500 after this next quarter if they post a profit? That will severely impact the price. With them selling over 90,000 units as of quarter 2, that is phenomenal for them. They are selling just as much as they were before this whole thing starts, and they would arguably sell more, even though their main factory was shut down for months during this whole thing going on. I just want to say thank you to all the people that watch this. I know it's not many. Potentially leave a comment below. Smash the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe. I'm Mr. Requedit, and have a fantastic day.